Good evening, minions, and welcome to another episode of Bigfoot The Search. In this episode, we will be going into the woods of Montana. In our previous episode, we have found a cabin with a map. On closer inspection of that map, we found lots of X's and some sightings of the majestic creature. I have studied that map intensely. I have searched various locations of these sightings, and to more of my disappointment, and just there was nothing to be found anywhere. However, there was a young gentleman who I rescued, and he pointed out to a cabin, a prepper stash no less. This cabin and this prepper stash belonged to a man named Dansky. Now, this man has a cabin in the woods. On inspection of the map and his location on my map, I have concluded that it is one and the same. One of the X's points to this location here. This is the prepper stash. So we will now venture into the woods and to see what we can find at this location. The reason I'm going here is because the X on the Bigfoot map and the prepper stash are in the same place. So without further ado, onward. I have taken the wrong turn, which is further up. And here we are. It seems as though this is a rather treacherous path, so I will be going on foot with my trusty companions, Boomer and Peaches. Now, there seems to be some unlawful activity in the area. Therefore, we should proceed with caution. After all, we don't want to startle anything that may be eluding around that may harm us. Just to make doubly sure that you know exactly where I am at the pepper stash, just north of Langford Lake, in Whitetail Mountains. Let's get my trusty rifle out, just in case we come across any resistance, such as a bear. That noise was not a bear. This is a grizzly. As you can see, my trusty dog Boomer has scared away the bear, as he is very fond of doing. Boomer is an excellent bear scarer. Fortunately for us, the grizzly has taken out all the resistance in the area. So we shall now investigate this cabin. We have a note here. The note reads, Dickie Dansky. Dickie Dansky is the man in question who we are after. He is the hunter of the Bigfoot, Sasquatch. For me, my obsession with Bigfoot started when I was a teenager. I had a summer job at a counselor at a nearby camp. This is referring to the camp that we saw before. In my previous video, we went to this camp and we found his map in his cabin, which I believe was number 4. I was in charge of looking after a bunch of 12-year-olds, take them hiking, canoeing, and generally to keep them alive. We also went out into the woods to do some backpacking and camping out in the wilderness. I'll never forget what I saw that night. We had set up camp deep in the woods, and we were just about to finish our dinner when we heard something large move in the underbush. At first, we worried that it could be a bear, but what we saw that night wasn't like any bear I've ever seen. This, of course, eluding to the majestic creature known as the Sasquatch, the biggest, thickest, Gigantopithecus, or as we call him, Bigfoot. This is clearly locked, requiring a key card. There seems to be no other clues other than 2 locked doors and a note. Okay, so now we shall read the pepper stash note if we can find it over here. Also, there are some vinyl records which I shall keep for my collection. I do like to strut my funky thing. Handwritten note. Sorry I locked you out, but I couldn't just wait. I heard some noises outside the cavern and I just had to follow. If you need your gear, just head north along the trail. I'm at the old lookout. I've got a feeling our hunt is over soon, and we'll have proof of the Squatch once and for all. Minions, get the drums ready. Dickie Dansky. So this note is clearly written by Dickie Dansky. The mission in question is gone Sasquatching. So now we need to find the key to Dickie Dansky's cabin. So we shall proceed north and see if we can find said Dickie Dansky. This is the great rattlesnake. Venom that can kill very quickly, very painfully. As you see, more scared of us than we are of it. However, if you do come across these, you could either let it be and run, like I'd like to do, being Devil Attenbourgh, or you could give it a swift kick in the nuts. Tragic, really. Whoa! We have been spotted. Good God in heaven! I should get my faithful companions to dispatch of these vicious wolves. Peaches the cougar, not fond of wolves. As you can see, he's cowering and just growling like a madcap. Boomer, on the other hand, usually does dispatch these wolves with great efficiency. This is taking forever. I shall dispatch it myself. Continuing up the trail, we must be very quiet. You never know what is lurking around in the undergrowth. We have stumbled upon a blood trail. That seems to be what the remnants of a lookout point, and that is our target location. Something has obviously fallen and been dragged off into the bushes. What that is hard to tell. Yet more blood trails. Lookout point. We have nothing but an old book, some binoculars, and an old letter. We shall see what we can find. Some civilians. And there's my jeep. And that is the cabin over there. I shall take this opportunity to clear the cabin of any hostiles, as I do need to go back in that direction in a minute. I deplore violence in all its forms. Having a shotgun or a sniper rifle, always a good thing. Now, journal entry number 419. I can't believe it. I've heard it. A genuine Sasquatch call. I'm sure it's from a cave I've seen on the nearby cliffs. I've got a feeling that today is going to be the day that I come face to face with the Squatch itself. So we know somebody has heard. Listen to that, minions. That was undeniably the call of the Sasquatch. Bigfoot, the abominable snowman, Gigantopithecus, or Biggest. So, onward. There's a bear up there. We must be very careful. Locate Datsky. We shall follow the bud trail north. Grizzly bears put up a hell of a fight, but they are no match for my two companions. Blood trails seem to lead over these cliffs. Somebody has almost dropped their backpack, which I shall now make use of. Keeping an eye out all the time for anything that is dangerous, no wish to hurt us. And of course, look out for Bigfoot himself. It seems that something has rifled through these. So we continue along the path, following the trail of blood. There are some skeletons. They look human. We have targeted something. It looks to me like this was some sort of feeding area. We must run and jump again. Now, minions, when traversing rocky terrain such as this, the utmost care is imperative. Seems as though I am on my own, as my faithful companions clearly cannot traverse these rocky terrain. And that is our target location. Like a pro. What is this, minions? We have discovered the corpse of what appears to be a deer. Something clearly was feeding on this just not too long ago. There is blood on the edge of this cliff. And there is the body of what we can only presume is Dickie Dansky. Let us venture down. Taking the utmost care not to disturb any wildlife in the area. We must investigate skeletons. What I can only presume is Dickie Dansky. However, it doesn't look much like the photo of him. Dansky's card. Now we can unlock his cabin. This is clearly where something big has been feeding, storing food for later perhaps. Faithful dog Boomer. That is our location. Again, people just do not seem to want to leave Dickie Dansky's cabin alone. Maybe they are also after the elusive Bigfoot. There is a fellow in need. I must help him. Any opportunity you get to save another living creature must be taken. My trusty K9 to finish him off. Peaches does a great job. For some reason, Bigfoot does not want to mess with that wolf. Whoops. And there we go. Oh dear. Oh dear. And that, minions, is what happens when you don't respect the wildlife. They come up and they bite you in the ass. And then tear it off. Oops, a daisy.
Thanks, Deputy. Hey, Deputy. Hey, Deputy Pratt's gonna be okay. Don't give up on him.
So she was full of pointless information. A complete waste of time. I should have let her die. So as we venture back to the cabin, we must be wary of the American black bear that we did spy earlier, ripping the innards out of that man. Seems as though we are okay. So minions, this is Dickie Dansky's cabin in the woods. We have some survival magazines, a cast of Bigfoot, the first empirical evidence yet that Bigfoot does indeed exist. I am stealing all his cash as he's no longer going to need it. And also that. Okay, again, this is the map in question. If we check this against our own map, we can see that some of the locations, such as Clouder Bay, are all corresponding. So minions, what I shall do now is I shall continue my investigation and I shall report back when we next have a lead. I shall continue to go to each and every one of these exits in turn, and you will be the first ones to know when I eventually find the elusive Bigfoot. Until then, I shall see you on the respawn.